It's a cold day at the Coldplay concert. CEO or ex-CEO of Astronomer, Andy Byron, gets caught on camera. The whole world has seen it with the head of HR of the corporation, and now he's out of a job. Divorce, lawsuits, hostile work environment. A lot of things are going to open up about this. Pretty sure he was making approximately $500,000 a year. Net worth over the last 4 years was about $2 million. This doesn't even include what his net worth was prior to that. Divorce is going to be coming down the pike for him. Lost his job. God only knows what's going to happen from this point on. Boys, tell us what you think about this situation.
He's down an interesting path. I mean, if he's going to go through a divorce, I think I saw a statement where his wife made a statement that, listen, I've lawyered up. I know what I'm entitled to, and I wish him luck on, whoever he goes with next, because I'm going to take what's mine. And based on the state law that they live in, she has a right to receive equitable distribution and perhaps alimony, depending on the term and length of their marriage. There's children involved, so child support presumably, maybe college expenses. So there's a whole plethora of what they say a shit show that's going to happen for Andy. But as far as like his whole business aspect, well, his time with the company's done. They've released him. They've replaced him. A new CEO came in, made a statement. So it's going to be interesting to see where his next stop is, whether he gets another job somewhere on a board or a position of power in a company, or if he just falls to the wayside and disappears from the media.
What do you think, Josh?
I mean, you're at a concert. You're trying to enjoy yourself with your gula. And,
would this ever happen at a Fish show?
No, definitely not at a Fish show. No, they don't show the crowd at the Fish show.
No, they don't.
No, I mean, you're talking about a guy who, in addition to his salary, probably had significant stock options, had a massive career going, and just exploded the entire thing. And if the woman he was with wasn't another employee at Astronomer, would he be out of a job at that point? Probably not, because that's just a family issue, right? That's a family matter and dealt with between him and his soon-to-be ex-wife. But because you're literally canoodling with the head of HR who's making all these decisions, it becomes really problematic for the company. And now this guy has lost out on significant stock options, I would imagine, the salary.
What if it was a team building event? Like, you trust your partner. I mean, I
think it was a little much. And by the way, a little much for team building. But if they didn't, if you saw the video, right, they dropped off camera. Like, they made a big thing of separating themselves. If they would have just stayed together,
or one arm around the other person,
or not even
maybe
moved. I mean, the camera would have went on to the next couple. It would have never made the news. It would have never been anything.
He dove bombed to the side, dive bomb to the side,
because it wasn't like nationally televised. They do it at every concert.
So I don't know if this is true or not, but one of the things I saw on the internet, and again, I have no idea if there's a basis for this part, but that the wife had kind of an idea that there was something going on, and there was a phone call made, and there was two plants in the audience, and they would do whatever the sign was for Coldplay to say what they need to say, and the cameraman would do what he needed to put the spotlight on these people and expose them. I don't know if it really, if they had that much power.
So knowing that they're in a certain suite, hey, zoom in
on
this suite.
So the internet is saying that Coldplay was involved in a conspiracy to out the affair.
No, so what happened is
that's amazing.
No, because they were saying like the woman next to them that's in the camera that starts laughing and smiling. Her and there's another person in the crowd that did like a hand signal to their face or whatever, and that would let the cameraman know that now's the time to get the camera on them. I don't know if there's any truth to it, but the guy is a CEO of a company, and perhaps maybe there's some power that was able to be done behind the scenes.
But there's one of the women who's shown in the video is the VP
of HR. Yeah, which is also
she's the second in command to HR.
That was one that's smiling next to her.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, now you lose the CEO for the last 4 years. You lose the head of HR, which hundreds of people in this corporation. The billions worth. The corporation's worth a couple $1 billion. You lose the VP of HR.
But the VP maybe didn't know what was going on.
If you see them there together, I mean, I think that VP gets suspended regardless if she denies any sort of.
What if they're talking about business and they didn't want anybody to hear? So they
yeah, but Rich, you're defensive mode, and I respect that. But the reality of it is that if they're standing there,
is this what we do here? Are we supposed to take different sides?
Listen. If they're standing there and they're like Josh said, they're just hanging out watching a concert, maybe nothing. But the fact that they split and they ran and they knew that it was like
But
they
Josh,
made it worse than
Josh, everybody saw the video.
Yeah.
His hands like this, his face on the right side of her.
Yeah.
The VP's on the left side. So maybe he's talking about the VP.
Yeah.
And that's why he's
Whispering
on the
in
right
her
side.
ear, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Listen, it's
that-
possible. So
yeah, that
she
is
can't read the
possible.
lips.
I don't
You
think
know,
I don't
it's
think a
plausible.
jury's buying that explanation in any way.
Maybe
Really
in a
don't.
criminal trial, that's your excuse. But
That's your
in a
reasonable
in a non-legal proceeding, when you're the board of directors or the shareholders, they're like, oh, got him. He's out. She's out. The other one's out. And now the problem with it is, Josh mentioned it, is that he might have had stock options that had to vest at some point. He obviously breaches fiduciary
and all
duty.
these companies have this morality clause.
Morality
which is
clause
which
is
is
gone.
like their
Yeah,
it's
by
a
the way.
catch-all now for anything.
And it's as a business owner, it's a good catch-all to have, because if somebody breaches your morality clause and affects the workplace when you're worth $1 billion, the shareholders really the ones, and the board of directors are the ones that control this corporation. I mean, it's not like just one person is saying, hey, that wasn't that's frowned upon, slap on the wrist, we're going to put you on a PIP plan.
And it can also change the team attitude too, culture.
1,000%. I mean, and the situation that I read earlier was the head of HR. She's in charge of hiring. Was there any sort of discrimination? Was there any sort of favoritism? Did this create some sort of environment?
But isn't that reaching a little bit, because there would be discrimination for them having a relationship? Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Favoritism.
Favoritism. not
Favoritism.
discrimination,
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the head of HR says, hey, I really want to hire my girlfriend.
Okay.
And she leans in and gives the CEO a kiss on the cheek and says, please let me hire this person.
Maybe
Who
she's
knows?
saying good morning to the CEO.
Maybe she's saying good morning.
I mean,
again,
you go to Italy, they're going to give you 2 kisses on cheek. Does that mean it's,
Yeah. They're not, people in Italy aren't going to the Coldplay concert.
No.
at the Andrea Bocelli concert?
Yeah. But anyway, big news. There's another corporate scandal. Let's see how it all plays out. Final
Should the
thoughts?
corporation be treated as a person, Josh?
No. No, never.
Yeah. Final thoughts on this. What do you guys think? What's going to happen moving forwards?
He's going to get divorced and get at least half of his assets taken from him.
Yeah. What do you think on the divorce side? You're the divorce guy. Divorce side. How ugly is this going to be for him? You represent the wife. What's your game plan?
The game plan would be, let's get a list of all the assets. Let's figure out where all the accounts are. Let's see how long. First, I want to know how long the marriage is, because if they just were married, and I'm sure they've been married for a few years, we'll find out in a second. But if they just were married, then it's not going to be a lot in equitable distribution or alimony claim, essentially, if he came in with a lot of assets pre-marriage. And looking at her landscape of what she's entitled to, I definitely think here it would be an alimony case for sure. So you're looking at what his income versus her income is, whether she's working or not. I don't know what her career may be, or if she's a stay-at-home mom. How long she may have been out of the workforce. Those all tie into whether an alimony claim should be made or not, and based on the ages and well-being. So there's a lot that goes into it. But overall, looking at it, you're looking at definitely the money he's made over the last 4 years for sure. I'm sure they probably own their house, I would think, right? They probably may have some vehicles that can come into play, stock options, whether they vested or whether
Retirement, 401k, right?
Exactly.
Goes
All of
into
that
play.
comes in. That would need to be split by usually way of a quadro. Qualified domestic relations order, that happens. So there's a lot that can go into play here. It could be cold.
How much does this guy wish he had a prenup signed at this point? Good pun, right?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I mean, they've got I don't want to say adult children as far as I know, but like 17, 18-year-old kids. I mean,
Yeah.
they've got older children.
Older children.
Right.
know,
Well, I
it's-
mean, college comes in, but college is going to be, you look at the law and you look at the aspects of the type of college a child's trying to go to, whether they can apply for any grants, loans, et cetera, that may help the cost of college.
Yeah.
Scholarships maybe. But you're looking at probably a nasty divorce here, because part of equitable distribution, when we look at that, will also be whether if one spouse is having an affair and it's based on adultery, you can maybe claim a disproportionate share of equitable distribution because maybe he's taking money from that would go into the marital home and using it for a trip with a girlfriend or vacations.
Or
things
Coldplay
like
tickets.
Yeah.
or Coldplay tickets,
You know what? That actually.
which probably weren't that expensive.
That actually.
at that time.
That actually probably. Just a thought. I want to know how many company trips these two went on the company dime. How much of the corporation's money was spent, if any, right? And then, did other people in the corporation know that this was happening, and what's their liability?
Right.
You know?
And
it gets ugly on both the business side and the family side.
mean, it's been a while since Coldplay had 2 hit singles, but now they've got 2 streaming singles now.
Back into the news.
Back into the news. All right, well, guys, tune in. Let us know what you think about the Coldplay situation for Andy Byron, ex-CEO of Astronomer. Let us know your thoughts. Subscribe, click here, and tune in.